Okay, so this week at Bluemotion we've got a CNC plasma retrofit project that I'm going to show you. This machine has been in our workshop for the last few weeks and it's came in for a full retrofit. So new electrical system, new plasma from Hypertherm, new control system, almost everything is new bar the main chassis of the machine. So stick around and you'll have a better idea as to how we do a retrofit here at Bluemotion. On this project, I'm going to go through a few of the things that we've done and we've replaced. So here behind me we can see this is the CNC plasma machine. This is it after being retrofit. So you can see it's after getting a fresh lick of paint. In this particular case, we're after adding a completely new cutting head. So the lifting unit, the plate riding system, the quick change, torch holder, that's all new. New servo motors, gearboxes, completely new cable chains, got a laser pointer, all new Bosch linear bearings and rails. We've got new Bosch bearings and rails on all of the axis. New e-stops, completely new wiring loom, and nearly most importantly, we've got a completely new control cabinet. So here's our Bluemotion control cabinet. Okay, now we're going to look at the controls a little bit in more detail. So here we've got our isolator for powering the system on. So we'll turn that on. So if we look at the controls on the machine as it's booting up, we've got on the top right here, we've got a USB port. So that's for loading your files in. Also, you've got an e-stop if anything goes wrong. You've got a nice speed control adjustment knob here. We've got a joystick for jogging the machine, and you've got an up and down switch for lifting up and down the torch if you ever need to do that. You've got a nice large touch screen. And then you've got, underneath here, you've got a keyboard and mouse that you can program the machine, you can make new parts on the machine, you can draw, you can nest, and when you're fully complete and finished, you can lock this back here in a locked position, and it means it's completely sealed from dust. That's kind of the baseline of what we've done. Maybe just to quickly show, putting in new servo motors and gearboxes, as I say, but here is, for example, the old motor and the old gearbox. This one is like the old style DC servo motors, and they've got the old encoder types, and then you've got a real big clunky old-fashioned type gearbox as well. These don't really give issues, but it's the DC motors and servo encoders on the back. They were a big issue for the customer on this machine. He was having to change them a lot, and also the control system, which we've got here. So let me just show you here. So where, a while ago, I showed you our control station, this would have been the control on the old one. So you can see it's got no screen, and it's got some similar components, for example, the e-stop and some switches, but you can't do any programming at the machine. You can basically just zero it and run it. That controller basically is an old style controller. It was giving issues. Some of the other components were giving issues. The customer had some accuracy problems on the machine. So with all of the work that's after being done, the machine is going to be much better, and you'll see some part cut examples in a minute. Okay, so here's a shot of the machine. Here we can see it's a 3 by 1.5 meter CNC plasma. To the right here we can see the new control cabinet. So this is the unit that Bluemotion has made and supplied with the machine. So this has got all your new servo drives, your controller, all your new electrical system, and that's all connected a bit like an umbilical cord here, which is our standard steel type. So I'll show you the quality of this here. So this is a steel type flexible conduit. So you can stand on this, it's not going to break. The plastic ones usually will deteriorate over time. So this is the other side of the machine. So we've got, for example, new cable chains on the long axis and on the short axis here. We've got new bearings on all the different axes as well, and you can also see here towards the back of the machine a new Hypertherm 65 amp plasma plant. So this is a new 5-year warranty as standard plasma plant, and that's going to serve the machine quite well. Here you can see how, let me get a better view of this here. You can see the new gearbox and servo motor. This machine is done by way of a shaft connecting a belt running along the long side here and also along this side here. So you can see the bottom of the belt here running along, and then it's caught into, let me see if I can get a better shot of this. You can see it's caught there on the actual gantry, so that's pulling the gantry from either side. Here's a better shot of the old controller. So you can see here, so it's an old Bernie controller, very problematic for the customer. So he's going to be quite happy with his new control. See here, this is the flange that was cut just a minute ago. You can see the cut quality on this guy. It's the lead-in piece there, which is the worst of it. Other than that, it's quite good. Okay, so let's look at this head in more detail. So the head is completely new from this back plate forward, so everything on it is completely brand new. So you've got new linear bearings, we've got a new pneumatic actuator, and this whole unit is completely brand new, including the plate riding system. So this has got ball bearings, 5 ball bearings in underneath, which when it's pushed down on the sheet, that's what's creating the torque height control. So it's a mechanical torque height control sitting up on the sheet, and as the plasma moves along, it's using those bearings to find its correct height. Usually with this type of a system, when you need to change the consumable of the torch, so at the tip of the torch there's some consumables, when you need to change those, usually it's quite an awkward thing in this type of a head, because it's very hard to access the consumables. Basically we've added some quick clamps here, and you can see this torch basically comes out that fast, and you can see the consumable, you've loads of access, and within 2 seconds you can grab the consumable, you can pick up another one, a new one, if the old one is worn out, and just a half turn, it's back in. We've got some precision components here and some matching precision countersinks here. So when we stick our torch back in, clamps down, it's going to be positioned in exactly the same position that it was before. So that's a great time saving in comparison to the old system that was on the machine, because it means your turnover time for changing consumables is down to literally seconds, where before it could have been minutes. Basically before you'd have to open 2 bolts here, slide your torch out, and you can change your consumable, but then putting your torch back in, you need to re-reference the height of the whole torch. This system is much faster, as you can see, so great improvement here. Okay, so here I'm going to demonstrate the jogging of the machine. So it's very simple. Using the joystick here, we can adjust the position of the machine, and we can adjust the speed of the machine of the jog here as well by the jog adjustment knob. Very simple. Also we can up and down in the head by using this simple up and down switch, and we've got our e-stop here as well. So very simple system, but works very well. Okay, so this is the Hypertherm control after loading up. First thing we need to do, you can see it's machine homing needed. So when you power the machine up from the first time in the day, after it's being powered off, we need to reference the machine. So you can see we just come into manual, home axis, and press all. And you can see it's saying now it's fast homing, and the machine off screen is moving into its bottom left position. Okay, so now the homing is finished. You can see homing off has come up, so that's good. And you can see the traverse and rail positions have gone to 0. So that means the machine is referenced, and it now knows where it is, and we're ready to run the machine. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here on the machine. So first of all, I'm just going to show how easy it is to draw a part from one of the preset shape library parts that's available from Hypertherm. So here on the shape manager section, you can see we've got a host of different parts that we can pull from. So these are all preset shapes where we can, for example, pull up a shape. So let's just say we wanted a flange. I can double click on the flange and then I can enter the different details. So for example, flange outer diameter, I can click on that and then I can adjust the diameter of the flange. I can also adjust other details of the shape, and when I'm finished, I can simply come in and hit OK. So here in our nesting package, we can see we can adjust the quantity of the parts that we want. So let's just say, for example, we want 2 flanges. In this case, I'm going to do 1. We can put in the details of our sheet. So in this case, we want to go 3 meters by 1500. So that's 3 meters by 1.5 meters. We're going to set mild steel, and in this case we're at 4 millimeters thick, and I'm cutting it with a 65 amp shielded consumable. So now I'm going to hit nest, and that's going to use the shortcut technology to nest the parts. So this should be pretty quick here. We've just got 1. Okay, it's after being nested. I'm going to hit OK. And now we need to set our part 0. So in this case, very simple, we can come into current part options. We can press align. Then it takes us through a step-by-step process on how to set up the part on the machine. So we can go bottom left. Then we move the machine with our joystick here so that it's in our bottom left position. Now I'm in the bottom left position. I'm going to say I'm at corner. In this case, I don't want to adjust for skew, so I'm just going to skip. And I'm going to add 5 mil of a border on this, just so I make sure I cut the part. Next, and finish. And it is just as simple as pressing the green button here. Okay, so here I'm going to show the part actually cutting, so I'm going to press the green button again.